Hello friends, today we'll discuss about divisibility test from 2 to 11. Let's start from definition of the divisibility test. What is the meaning of divisibility test? The process to check the given number is exactly divisible by another number without actually performing the operation of division is called the test of divisibility. Here, exactly divisible means after division there is no remainder left. Means remainder is 0. Take example. Just like 14 divided by 2, this is equal to 7. As here remainder is 0. So what we can easily say that here? 14 is divisible by 2. This is the long division method. In long division method, we are actually performing the division operation to check whether a number is divisible by another number or not. Now, but when we will consider this long division method for 3-digit number, 4-digit number, 5-digit number, 6-digit number, 7-digit number, so it's taking too much time. So in that duration, we will use the concept of test of divisibility. So let's learn about test of divisibility from 2 to 11. For our conveniency, we have grouped this test of divisibility as follows. Divisibility test for 2, 5 and 10 in the first group, divisibility test for 3 and 9 in the second group, divisibility test for 4 and 8 in the third group. In the next group, divisibility test for 6, then divisibility test for 7 and then divisibility test for 11. Let's learn the tips to remember divisibility test. So as in the first group, we have considered divisibility test for 2, 5 and 10. So in that, we have to see the last digit, means see the ones place digit. When you will do the divisibility test for 2, so in the duration you have to see the ones place digit of a number. When you will perform the divisibility test for 5, in the duration also you have to see the ones place digit only. When you will perform the divisibility test for 10, in the duration also you have to see the ones place digit. That we are saying that last digit. Now jump to the next group, divisibility test for 3 and 9. Whenever you are performing divisibility test for 3, in the duration you have to do the sum of the digits of a number. Why we are doing that? That we will learn afterward. Then when we are performing divisibility test for 9, in the duration also you have to do the sum of the digits. This all tips are very important. You should remember each and every tips for performing the divisibility test. Then, in the next group, divisibility test for 4 and 8. Whenever we are performing divisibility test for 4 and 8, in the duration, last 2 digits you have to consider for 4 and last 3 digits you have to consider for 8. Why we are considering this? That also we will learn in the video. Now, in the next group, divisibility test for 6, you must consider that number should be divisible by 2 and 3. Then, divisibility test for 7. For divisibility test of 7, you have to consider RDS. What is the meaning of RDS here? RDS means remove, double and subtract. What's we have to remove, double and subtract? That's also we have to learn, or we have to learn when we will perform the divisibility test. Divisibility test for, the next is divisibility test for 11. You have to find the difference of sum of the even place digit and sum of the odd place digit. Now, what is the meaning of sum of the even place digit and what is the meaning of sum of the odd place digit? That's we will learn in the video only. Let's learn about divisibility test for 2, 5 and 10. As we have learned the tips that divisibility test for 2, 5 and 10, we have to see the last digit, or we have to see the ones place digit. So before starting this, I just want to ask the 2's table. What is the 2's table? 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10, 2 6s are 12, like that. Now, what we are observing in the ones place of the 2's table? We are observing in the ones place of 2's table that 2, 4, 6, 8 and 0. Like that we are observing here. So what we have to consider here? We will make the definition of divisibility test. We can make the definition of divisibility test for 2. If the number ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then the number is divisible by 2. It's very easy. You can remember any of the method from this. Just like, consider the example here. Example first is that check whether 10 crore 45 lakh 67,798 is divisible by 2 or not. So what is the divisibility test for 2 here? Divisibility test of 2 says that when a number ends with 0, 2, 4, 8 or 6, then the number is divisible by 2. Here number ends with 8. So I can easily say that the number is divisible by 2. So consider another example. Check whether 4,47,617 is divisible by 2 or not. So here what I am observing in the ones place? In the ones place 7 is present. So here this number does not ends with 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8. That's why this 4,47,617 is not divisible by 2. Let's consider the divisibility test for 5. What is the divisibility test for 5? This is coming in the first group. So we have to see the last digit. We have to see the ones place digit. Now again I will observe that the 5's table here. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, 5 threes are 15, 5 fours are 20, 5 fives are 25, like that. So whenever I am telling the 5's table, so I am observing here in the ones place 5, 0, 5, 0, like that. So I will make the definition of divisibility test as if number ends with 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Consider the example for this. Check whether this number 23 crore 66 lakh 87,145 is divisible by 5 or not. So for that, what's you are observing here? This number ends with 5. So this number is easily divisible by 5. This all are very easy test. So we will apply when we will solve the problem. Then next question is that check whether 98 lakh 34,670 is divisible by 5 or not. So what I am observing here? Number ends with 0. So we can easily say that this number 98 lakh 34,670 is divisible by 5. Let's learn about divisibility test for 10. So for divisibility test of 10, first of all we will see the tens table. 10 ones are 10, 10 twos are 20, 10 threes are 30, 10 fours are 40, 10 fives are 50, 10 sixes are 60, 10 sevens are 70, like that. Every time in the tens table I am observing in the ones place 0 is present. So how I can define the divisibility test of 10? Divisibility test of 10 says that if number ends with 0, then the number is divisible by 10. For example, check whether 34 crore 56 lakh 98,340 is divisible or not. What's you're observing here in the ones place? Here in the ones place 0 is present, or here the number ends with 0. So I can easily say that this 34 crore 56 lakh 98,340 is divisible by 10. Now consider the second example. Check whether 10 lakh 23,456 is divisible by 10 or not. So what's you're observing here? This 10 lakh 23,456 does not end with 0. What we have to consider then? This number is not divisible by 10.